Hello, my name is Sylvia. Welcome back for another episode of Ep23 as Argentina. In previous episode, we managed to do the skyscraper survey, and it's now in the production queue. It's going to take a while before it's built, mind you, but it started at least. And then we've been doing a little bit colonization in here. We did increase our army size to 60 battalions in Argentina, and plus we got that one in Africa, but that's not really in use. We increased our fleet size a tiny bit. It's not a huge amount though, but it does help a little bit at least. We are soon-ish getting the automatic machine guns. Once we get that one, we might be ready to fight against Paraguay and possibly against Brazil. It's not a guarantee that they'll join in, but it's very likely that they will. So we want to be prepared to be able to at least deal, if not maximum damage, at least significant damage on the enemy troops. And thus we'll wait for the machine guns. In the meanwhile, the loyalist numbers, they did actually go down a little bit. Oh, right, we've got election season coming up. Right, well, it seems like the Free Trade Party is not going to get into power anytime soon. Well, there's a whole lot of steel mills being built by the private sector. There's 3 different steel mills. Well, I suppose if they make profit, I'm not opposed to that. They do give a decent boost for the GDP as well. And there we are. We've already got 28. I think we'll be hitting 30 million today, possibly. Maybe a little bit higher than that, but I'm not entirely sure. Looks like the Brazilian GDP isn't... Well, it has grown a decent bit as well. Not that long ago, still 42 million. So I'm not entirely sure if we're catching up to them. Of course, easy way to reduce their GDP is conquer a few of their provinces or states to reduce their GDP and increase ours. Which would be kind of the ideal situation from the war against Paraguay, is that we'll capture like 1 state or maybe 2 states down here, and we'll capture Baja Paraguay. And, I wouldn't mind getting Paraguay Mato Grosso as well, but I think we might have to give some land to Peru, Bolivia to just aid us, quite frankly. But simultaneously, we do need to take the some land from Chile at some point. At least for one of the missions will require us to get the Patagonia fully. Oh, there's the anarchism. I'm actually interested to see what is going to start spreading in the society text now. Oh, psychoanalysis. Sure. We'll get that one. So automated machine guns, 6 to 10 months. We did increase the innovation to about 118 now total, so that's pretty decent. Getting a motor industries in Chaco and then the rubber plantation in Congo. Then we'll get a power plant and then we'll start building the skyscraper finally. After that, we might want to go and build some other things as well. Do we have power over here? We do. I don't think we need a lot of power yet though, for most of the things in here. The electric engines would probably be very handy to have, to be fair. Well, they got a transportation lack in here. Interesting. Well, I suppose they probably use a lot of transportation on the coal mines, or the mines in general, I suppose. So we might actually want to go ahead and build... Well, right now it's costing us a little bit in subsidies. Not a huge amount of cost, to be fair, but it does cost us. Partially because the engine price is a bit high, I reckon. And while there is high demand for the transportation, it's not really helping the situation too much. But there we are. We've gathered already 1.4 million in cash reserves. Some robbers discovered. Britain is colonizing more. All discovered in Lancashire. Alright then. Partisan papers. Okay, we'll give Free Trade Party a momentum. Or, we'll also get the paper mill throughput. That'll be better for our GDP. Plus, I suppose with the company that we have, we already get a decent boost in those already. But we'll get even more now. So motor industry up here is almost done. That is going to provide a bit more work in here. Which, to be fair, it's not lacking too much workers right now. So that's at least good. I'll start working on the power plant in here in Corrientes. And we've already reached a 10.5 million population. We still need another 2.5 to reach the goal of 13 million that we were given. But that's alright. Well, right now it's mostly just waiting then, isn't it? We can't really do a lot of wars in Africa. Oh, right. Marina Kingdom is... you're not fighting a war. I know you are fighting a war. Okay. You are being supported by Spain and Britain are fighting. Ah, right. Oh, yeah, in Gibraltar. Well, that's keeping them busy. Ooh. Seems like Russia is losing the war against North German Federation, at least. Well, that's good to know. If they get weakened, I do wonder, actually, Bolivia, you are still part of the Russian market. Well, there's the election done. Well, there's probably not a lot of reforming that needs to be done. I mean, we could bring it all parties... Oh, petty bourgeoisie is thing now. Alright then. Or influential again. But no, I don't think we are going to change the stuff in here. We could maybe go ahead and reduce it. No, reducing taxes would be too expensive. I guess we won't be doing that yet. Mostly because we got that extra expense of 14,000 per week for another quite a while, actually. For another 4 years, in fact. But there we go. The skyscraper has started construction already, and it seems like a bit more of the construction is now going to the private sector, maybe. It's pretty even, actually. But we do have a bit more capacity available. And for that, I suppose, actually, let's have a look at the military. So mobilization. Oh, right, so these do share the things already. We could use the... ancient input. You know what, we'll get the rail transportation for these. Opium we could get, but I don't know if we want to spend money for the opium. We will definitely want to get the advancement for the machine gunners once we have those available. It's only ammunition and small arms, so that is something that we can provide quite easily ourselves. We could get the luxury supplies to get even more offense and defense. You know what? Actually, we will take those. Take all the benefits that we can for our troops, quite frankly. We could potentially increase the army size even further, in all fairness. We could take this one and increase it to 30 battalions total. And for that, I think we'll just go ahead and get another few for at least 5 infantry. I could maybe get, you know, we'll also get 10 infantry. It'll be a largely defensive unit. That'll keep the construction busy even here. As soon as the power plant is done, it'll start going through the barracks. And we'll get to at least 70 battalions total, which already is a decent increase. And that might not be quite enough to fight against Brazil on its own, because they've also increased their military size. But we are going to get closer and closer. Are we able to go... No, we could go up to rank 8 if we had the prestige. That's good to know. Of course, we don't have it yet. But if we do have a look at the prestige real quick, so Brazil's got over 600. So there's still about 120 between us. They're getting more prestige right now, actually. I'm leading producer, or a third largest producer of electricity at least, and that might actually start increasing further. Now, to be fair, that's largely part of the fact that we've got the coal-fired generators now. So that does provide a lot more power, and we'll be producing a bit more soon enough, so that might give us the extra prestige. The GDP is on the rise, at least. It's a steady increase there over time. But of course, our population is a lot smaller than what Brazilians have. They've got, well, actually, it's not that huge difference, actually. There's a mining accident. How is the relation with industrialists? It's +9 right now. I think we will actually go ahead and make them a bit stronger. Even though it might not be beneficial for us right now, especially with the increased radicals there. Mendoza's getting a tooling workshop. That'll be actually quite handy in there, I reckon. It seems like our service prices are actually very small in our, at least in our nation. Or most of the states in our core territories in here. I don't know what no, it's not too bad there either. Ooh, there we go. Colonial investment to level 4 and education to level 5. We got the institutional, but that's something that we've already had. But that will speed up the colonization speed over here in Congo at least, so we're going to get the full state sooner or later. The power plant is almost completed. We are going to be increasing the army size. I think once we got on the barracks build, which... Oh, I didn't mean to scroll that far out. The barracks built, that will... Well, first of all, it won't take all that long. We'll probably have the skyscraper more or less complete at that point as well. And then I think it's time to do a war. Or start fighting against Brazil in... Well, not quite non-stop, but almost. I'd say at least these 3 states, and of course the state from Paraguay are the ones that we want. But again, of course, there's no guarantee that Brazil joins against Paraguay or to aid Paraguay. It's very likely, but there's also a chance that if Brazil joins against me, then someone else might join as well. Although they don't have alliances. But that's at least a good sign. But there's the automatic machine guns. Let's go ahead and switch that on the mobilization, at least on these 2 armies. It will be a bit more costly troops, to be fair, but it will also be a lot better stats on the units. Actually, let's go ahead and have a look at, for example, this army. And if you have a look at the trench infantry, so it's, we're still over 50, at least, on the defense. I suppose they, oh, right, they don't have the modifiers from that yet. It might take a little while to be implemented. They are seasoned, they got the field works. Let me just double check that mobilization thing. So it's 10 defense extra. I suppose that might be once they are activated. Or the troops are activated, that might be allowing us to calculate that in. Although we could... yeah, so I suppose we will have probably around 60 or more defensiveness. So that will probably be fairly good against it. If we just... if we need to hold against... or just hold our line against Brazilians first, we can probably do that now. Not necessarily fully. I mean, it depends if we can get allies to help or not. If we can't, then no, it's probably not going to happen. We do have a little bit of standard of living problems with certain states. I suppose a lot of that is just improving the amount of works there. There's still... oh. Peculiar cult. After a brief period of prominence, the positive trend in Argentina has begun to decline as middle-class reformers seek other frameworks to analyze their problems. With fading popularity, positive church will soon be regarded as just another ephemeral cult. We'll just go ahead and take that one. Reduce the petit bourgeois' influence even further, although the extra 10% bureaucracy isn't bad. But there we are, now we're increasing the army size again. That'll be very handy. Do we have any more... no, we can't do the decision to get some more states to be Argentine homelands. In the face of revolution, policemen chasing rumors of an alleged planned communist uprising in Chaco have so significant fear among the area's public, although skeptics decry the disturbances as terrorism in itself. We'll also say that if it doesn't materialize, then we'll have done our job. It might be increasing the... oh yeah, radicals are now a bit larger than loyalists, but the difference isn't huge. Then our living, on the other hand, has dropped down a little bit, which is not great. We've got fairly good literary rate, it's 74.5%. I don't think it's been growing that much recently, but actually I don't know, it probably has been growing. I've just not been paying that much attention. It's a very sort of slow growth there, so it's easy to miss it happening. So we definitely need more oil, we need more silk, we need more engines. We started building some of those engine building stuff. I suppose another thing that we could do is get some more logging camps. We'll be using a bit of electricity for that, but that's alright. Get this to level 10. Because that might potentially open up another possibility for another company later on. Right, so what do we have in the military now spreading? Oh, it's the concrete dockyards. Alright then. That's going to unlock the modern port. And so it's the wargaming that we need to get for the new training law, the training method streamlining. Which would be okay, that's 10% army offense as well. Defensive depth, that's the siege artillery. Be pretty decent. And the plus 10% armor defense. The war propaganda, there's less morale loss and more conscripted battalions. But we'll just go ahead and get what we can. Conveyor belt is now the next one being researched. As soon as we've gotten the barracks built and the battalions more or less active, we'll start the war against Paraguay. I think it's about time. We haven't really been doing much yet. How much population do they have in here? There's 1 million. Alright then. I mean, that will get us closer to our goal of 13. And then after that, we could potentially start thinking about maybe ending the defensive pact with Chile and possibly even conquering some land from them. At least in Patagonia fully. And maybe we could also take Araucania at some point. They do have gold mines there, which is quite handy. That reminds me, so these gold mines are already fully leveled up, but we can't get any more out of it, quite frankly. There we go, 3 more barracks to be built, and then we'll have the full army. Skyscraper is still going to take a while, but that government administration building through, but 25% extra in there is pretty decent. We've got 24 urban centers already, oh wow. But they're not even hiring enough, because there's probably not enough demand for the... well, I mean, there's some demand for the things, but it's not really hugely popular workplace. Oh, there might not be enough qualifications, even. I mean, there probably is, let's be honest, but they do need a whole lot of people in here. Oh, right, profitability is a bit low. Or if they hire more, it will be lower. So yeah, there's just not enough demand for things. Got the electric street lights, at least. Just for the heck of it. There's a rivalry broken between Dutch and British and the Dutch and the Spanish. Alright then. So someone's been busy improving relations. And there we go, we already got 29.7 million GDP. Now to be fair, the private sector is doing really good at building more stuff right now. I mean, they are also building a bit of farms and all that, which, to be fair, if they're profitable, that's fine. But right now, at least we've got enough places to build in and we've got enough population to work most of the places. So it's not quite as bad as in the beginning where they were just wanting to build more and more farms in places where there's just not enough population to begin with. Oh, Santiago is now our new president. We do still have a little bit extra authority, although not a lot. Military rate is almost 75%. That's coming along quite nicely. And there's just one more barracks to be built. And then we're probably ready to start the diplomatic play. Now, it has to be on the safe side. I will do a save in case we need to jump back so that we don't lose too much stuff. Like if it's a utterly disastrous result for us. I think we'll go for the war regardless, even if we need to fight against Brazil. But let's do that now. Right, so Paraguay. We've still got cordial relations with you. Oh, bollocks. So we won't be able to declare war on you, can we? We could make you a protectorate, I suppose. You know what, that's not necessarily a terrible idea. Although if we were to conquer... Oh, hold on a minute, shouldn't there be a return state? Oh, right, because it's less than cordial. Okay, so let's go ahead and damage relations first. We could expel the diplomats, but I'd rather not take too much infamy if I can avoid it. I mean, oh, no, we do need to do that. Okay. Oh, Kingmaker. The leader of the armed forces. Someone must decide whether the military will back the National Civic Union or the... Sure, that's definitely the Civic Union, I suppose. So did they change their... No, they did not change. Okay. Right, well, if I can't do that one, I could potentially do a war directly against Brazil. But they've got quite a strong military. I don't know if I'd be able to get people to help me. And Rio Grande do Sul is the one that I would love to get from them. It was 29 infamy. Oh dear. It's a bit expensive. We could just have the ban slavery. That way we could probably get a lot of support. But I don't think if we ban slavery, can we then... I suppose we could also try getting some land from some nations. But we'll have to go ahead and expel the diplomats. I suppose that's going to be the easy way. That does give us 10 infamy. Which is not great, mind you. But we'll just have to live with that. The conveyors is almost completed. Right, at this point it's probably time to start the return state. So that's not going to be too bad infamy-wise. We'll see how bad it's actually going to be for us. But let's slow down to speed 3. So we've got time to deal with the diplomatic plays. So Brazil is leaning towards the enemy. We could potentially invite Britain. That would wreck the Brazilian economy as well. Because right now we are sharing it. Chile would be willing to join in, but Bolivia is not willing to join. We had at least one sway that Britain would accept. That's good to know. So let's go ahead and start activating the troops. We don't actually need to activate everything yet. We'll go ahead and take one of these armies and deploy to the Paraguay front. The bigger army is going to be against the Brazilians, I reckon. Ooh, there we go, conveyors unlocked. Do we... Hold on a minute, so conveyors, those use electricity, right? That's the assembly lines, right. So, yeah, they use electricity, they use oil. We don't really have a lot of oil, so I don't think it's going to be hugely profitable for us to do so. That's going to be bloody expensive, this war, though. So, that's why we don't really plan on activating the troops quite yet. Well, one of the armies, yes, but beyond that, not too much. Now, it would be handy if no one else joins in the war, and I can just go ahead and retake the area, but they most likely will have at least Brazil join. We do have a decent bit of diplomatic or maneuvers over here available for us. And I think what we'll do is we'll just call in Great Britain. They'll win the war for me, most likely, although that might call in some of their rivals in, like, France or something. So that's a bit unfortunate. But no one's leading towards me yet. We'll just wait until, well, now they'll probably call in Brazil. Right about now, maybe? Oh, yeah. They started with, them, there's the... Oh, right, it's a call ally. Britain? Transfer states? Oh, they would want my Congo. Is losing Congo worth it? We'll stay within the market, at least. What other options do we have? No, probably not on you. Chile, we could get... oh, transfer state. You want to Patagonia? No. You know what? We'll go ahead and give Congo to Britain. That will drop our GDP a little bit. But that will give us a very strong ally for this war. Which might cause the enemy to actually back down. Oh, USA sides... Okay. Alright then. Well, I mean, if we have a look at the total number of troops... Our side has a decent bit... Depends a lot on how much they actually bring in here. I mean, how much they'll have up here, for example, and all that. I think we'll go ahead and mobilize the armies. We'll raise the conscripts. It's going to be bloody expensive. So this one's going to be against Paraguay. I don't know if they got more troops arriving in there. But this army is just going to go ahead and defend towards... oh, is that the same front, actually? Yes, it is. Okay, and Britain's bringing some more troops. I'm just going to go ahead and have my armies be on the defensive for now. Oh man, that's a huge cost there. Oh boy. Hey, we've got 30 billion GDP at least. Is Brazil now in the... No, they're still in the British market, actually. So we're sharing the costs of the resources. That's not great. So the enemy does actually have a bit more troops. Brazil doesn't have trench infantry, as far as I know. Well, I suppose we can actually check that quite easily, couldn't we? Yeah, they've got some light infantry and skirmish infantry. Shrapnel artillery and mobile artillery, some lancers. So overall, I think our troops are better quality. Until the Americans start arriving, I suppose. Oh yeah, they've got an army coming in here now. Although that's not actually quite to the same defensive stats as my troops are. Actually, even the British don't have... Well, they've got some trench infantry, but not all of it is trench infantry. This might crash our economy, which is one of the reasons why we saved beforehand. But they've got a whole lot of troops in here. Well, we've got, technically speaking, 2 armies, I suppose. No, we're not going to be able to build any more troops, I reckon. We did have to give out the... Actually, we didn't give the colony in here yet. I think it's after the war. A donation of knowledge. Another university? Sure, we'll take it. It's going to be a bit of expenditure. But at the same time, more innovation does mean that we'll be able to get the techs faster. Now, luckily, we do have our machine guns as well, which should make our troops quite a bit... Oh, yeah, we've got very good defenses in here on the trench infantry. Like, this one's got almost 80 per unit. Now, to be fair, I don't know if that's going to be quite enough to fight in here. I mean, we've got higher defense. Their side has a... Or higher defense than their side has offensive, but we don't have quite as much troops in here. It depends a lot on how many enemy units are arriving into this front line. Well, I suppose at this point... Oh, no. Getting Chile is probably not an option. But I might go ahead and add a war goal of war reparations from Brazil. I'm not going to put any goals on USA because I don't think we'll be able to get anywhere there. Or anywhere near that. I might also put a conquer state on... Actually, what could we do? I'm going to take American states. Amazona's a bit hard to get to. Maybe we could take Mato Grosso from Paraguay. So it doesn't increase our infamy too much. And cause Britain to abandon me. So both sides have about 400 battalions. Well, we've got 400 battalions already active. They are slowly activating their troops. This is going to be very expensive. We may have started activating troops a bit too soon, mind you. But I'm hoping that it will still be fine. We've got fairly high military wages at least, but I suppose that does help with the morale recovery. The fact that the British have arrived with at least 1 army in here already. They've got more troops being transported in. There is 81 battalions on our side, 131 on their side. A lot of their troops might be defending. Looks like the American army... Actually, do they have trench infantry? They do. But the trench infantry, of course, isn't all that great in attacking. They're good at defensive. Not so great at attacking, so that might be the saving grace. Oh, USA damaging relations. Well, that's not good. Russia already declared neutrality on the war. So who's there remaining? There's some big nations. None of which are probably going to join in. I don't want to give the state down here, or Patagonia, to get Chile in with the 30 battalions, which are probably only like skirmish infantry. Arming the natives. Okay, Brazil. It's an interesting strategy. I mean, to be fair, we'll be losing Congo after this war. Most likely, anyway. I don't know if we'll give that once the war starts or something. That might actually be the case. It's going to cost us a decent bit of GDP, but if we can get at least Paraguay to our side or conquer it, and then we can maybe do a war against Brazil later on, we'll need to increase our military size a lot further. We've got 83 battalions total, though. So that's actually... It's a decent increase in there. Oh, right, there's some of the Rai conscripts are being activated. So we're slowly mobilizing more troops. Oh, this one's... Oh, we're going to need a new general in here. Stalwart Defender, that seems like a good idea. Put that on defense. There we go, so the troops are at least active. This one's probably... Well, it's mostly mobilizing already. Or fully mobilized, I guess. Don't actually know if it is. Yeah, no, they are mobilizing more and more in there. Okay, so we're getting more troops in. We do have high defense in here, but of course, total numbers... Oh, is the British... No, we're not... Oh, we may have been gathering a little bit of progress already. I don't know if they... Oh, yeah, no, the enemy side is planning on attacking. Now, they will probably have the advance in numbers, but the average offense value is quite a bit less than what we have defense. So we might have the upper hand in some of the battles. But, yeah, this is going to be tricky, to say the least. Let's see, is there... Ooh, automatic machine guns completed. Devil's Paintbrush. For 2 years... Oh, who is the... Is one of the generals in the 2nd Argentinian army. Or we'll get a Trench Rat, which is 10 defense. Just raw 10 defense might actually be better. And that's not just for 2 years, to be fair. Sure. Right, well, let's have a look at how this goes. It does say that we got the... Well, we do not have the upper hand in here, let's put it that way. Ooh, and there we go, we got the skyscraper completed. That will, oh, right, we're not doing any construction right now. Private sector can probably take over all of it. He will use up the investment pool probably fairly quickly. Oh, we'll discover Amazonas. Alright then. On Colombia, I suppose. Oh, there we go. So we've got 82 battalions. They've got 58. But we've got a lot, basically double the defense compared to their offense. So I think this is going to be a massacre in a grand scale. Oh yeah, no, there's a huge amount of dead and wounded on the enemy side already. Not so many demoralized. We've actually had more demoralized than they have. But, you know, the total losses are definitely going in our favor. Oh yeah, that's a huge amount. Is there another battle? There is another battle. Is Britain fighting against, or defending against Americans? I think the Americans might actually win that one. Is there any more battles going on? No, I think that's about it right now. Well, this is going to be... Oh boy. That is going to be an easy victory for us. The dead and wounded is about 7,000 for us right now. They've lost almost 17,000 just dead and 30,000 wounded. That is pretty bad. Oh, touching the sky. Right, we get some more prestige. Good. So we got 680. Oh, are we technically speaking already above... Oh, Brazil is now in the Russian market. Okay. But their prestige... Oh, we are above them in prestige. Alright then, but it may not have... calculated. There we are. Now we surpass them. Right, unfortunately we can't send reinforcements to this fight. Actually, there are some of our units in there. We're probably the ones that deal most of the damage in there, quite frankly. I don't know. So the enemy did have the numbers advantage, and they are going to be winning that battle. But oh, there's another battle in here. 111 battalions on my side. And there's a decent bit of British units in there, to be fair, as well. But they've got 25 battalions. Yeah, this is going to be pretty easy victories, at least some of these. Oh, there's another battle in here. I've got 11 battalions versus 14 of theirs, but I actually started with more manpower in the combat. So I think the attrition warfare has started, and I think as long as our economy doesn't completely collapse, which it might, but did we already give, I think we may have already given, yeah, Congo has been gifted away. Well, we do have our fleet. There is perhaps a bit of reason to... Oh, we don't have an admiral in here. Okay. Get the brave one. Let's go and intercept in here. Or at least protect that area. So the battles, some of them we are winning. There's this one that we are going to lose, unfortunately. But at least most of these battles are really good victories for us. Like over here we lost 20 or 3,300 men, or 3,400, somewhere around there. Dead and wounded, and they lost over 22,000. About 23,000 actually. So if we have a look at the total, we've had 2 victories where they've lost, oh right, that's the initial number of, yeah, so we got a fairly good situation overall on most of these. Oh, there's another massive battle in here. The Americans are taking, a bit of losses, let's put it that way. As long as the private sector takes care of the construction for a while, it will probably improve our economy over time, although the lack of, or the drop in GDP is quite significant. But I think, oh, right, they've taken all of that state already. And the British are trying to do a counterattack. I'm trying to defend over here against some, oh yeah, that's going to be pretty bad. Over here, at least in Corrientes, we're doing fine in defending. But we might still lose this. You know, both of these are going to be lost, so we'll probably lose Chaco as well. So what was the war goal? It was Corrientes. No. can't give you that. Oh, there's another massive battle in here. So Corianders, they're desperately trying to conquer that, and we are holding very tight in there. Unfortunately, on the flanks here, we're not doing quite as well. As long as they don't take my capital or Corianders, we could, technically speaking, just force them to take such a huge casualties that they'll lose war support because of that. The Brazilian war support is already quite a bit lower. What about the British war support? It's 93, so that's not too bad. So our side has actually higher war support than the enemies do. So if we can outlast either Brazil or USA in this war, then we have a potential for victory. But it's going to be a very costly war until then, and we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.